We're cooking with some grease right now.
Whoops.
Oh. We're testing out some stuff, so don't hate us right now.
We live?
I think so. I am not sure.
Oh yeah.
I think we are on Rumble. Well, something's going. All right, hello. I think we're working. We're trying something new, so I apologize in advance if we're a little divided. Yep, it's all my fault. If we're a little delayed. Hello, Stan. Welcome.
Matthew, how are you, man?
Good. You glad to be back?
I am.
Back for another episode.
Yeah, heck yeah. Excited.
You know, I thought it was gonna be started getting nice outside, but this dang rain. This dang rain is cloudy. It's cloud. It's a cloud over me.
Cloudy, rainy, and it was cold this morning.
Yeah.
It was super cold, and it's supposed to be colder tomorrow morning.
Hopefully, it doesn't snow.
I think it
Fingers
might.
crossed.
Think
Knock
it
on
might.
wood. Anyways, we are here with some great articles to talk about. Some people say they're the best articles. You know, I think they're pretty good, but people tell me they're the best. Stan tells me they're the best.
They're the best. They are.
We have some North Idaho drama going on here with the new law changes that we have been talking about. Some new developments going on about an event center. I don't know how we feel about at the current moment. And some bill that was introduced, but it hasn't passed because the legislature went out for session.
They did. Yes.
But I think it's an interesting bill to talk about if it comes back next session.
It should.
The NAR got another lawsuit,
Oh gosh.
which is great. You know, just handing out free monies, and then and the first-time buyers fall in the market to 21%. But I thought we'd start with some local news.
Local news. Coeur d'Alene, North Idaho. Let's hear it. What's going down? City officials sound off on new housing laws.
Yes, sir.
That just got passed.
You have the laws that we've been talking about that you could break up 4-acre parcels into 1,400 square foot lots. You know, those great things.
Yep.
They had some things to say. They had a hearing. I think this was yesterday, and some people were not happy about it. They were calling it dumb and not very clever. That's something you like hearing from your officials, right?
Yes.
A recent passage of several House bills led to members of the Coeur d'Alene City Council and Planning Commission voicing frustrations during the workshop. Oh, this was on Monday, so a couple days ago.
Yep.
But pretty much for what I read in the article, which I agree with, was there's not a lot of 4-acre parcels left in Coeur d'Alene. I don't think there are really any.
You know, residentially zoned,
Yeah.
probably not. I mean, there's some commercial properties that I can think of, but yeah, there's really not within the city limits.
Yep. And so that one isn't actually as pertinent to Coeur d'Alene because it had to have a minimum of 4 acres to be able to chop them up into 1,400 square foot parcels.
Yep.
And so that's what they said as well, that it wasn't it's not going to be a big impact for them. But the Coeur d'Alene law has provisions covering ADUs, and that was a whole separate bill that was passed about no restrictions on ADUs. And, you know, we already have a tough time out in Coeur d'Alene having parking and whatnot, so
Right.
people are going to be building ADUs left, right, and center here.
Well, yeah, they're encouraged to now.
Yeah.
And I think Coeur d'Alene had a maximum square footage of 800 square feet.
Yep.
And they also had a height stipulation that now can be overridden by that state law.
So pretty much they're all pretty upset about this ADU law that has been passed.
Which, you know, not to jump forward in any of our topics, but when you were talking about the first-time homebuyer thing, you know, there is a larger percentage of buyer out there buying multi-generational. So, you know, I don't think the law is that big of a deal, honestly. And the fact of the matter is this: it is going to increase construction and open up more jobs and stuff like that in Coeur d'Alene. And it's going to increase income for people that have houses.
Yeah.
They can build them.
Yeah.
So and build the ADU.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think the law says you can build like a 300 foot high ADU.
Yeah.
I mean, look kind of cool. you'd have lake views at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. But then everyone else would have 300-foot ADUs. Well, I think my generation, the younger generation, is that they're starting to see more of that generational living. Like if it's not in the same house, it's on the one parcel.
Right.
As long as you have your own house, I have my own house, we could live happily as neighbors. And I'd love to have a big enough parcel to be able to break it up and have an ADU and have my parents on it.
Sure.
They have their own spot. They're not living in my house, but we're right next door, and they could come over whenever they
Dude,
want.
you can now.
Yeah, you can now, which is awesome. And I know a friend of mine that his grandparents own. Now this is going to be other zoning and panhandle health issues, but
Right.
they own a 5-acre piece out in Carywood, and they wanted to put an ADU on it. And obviously there was the old restrictions of half the size of the previous one and
Right,
whatnot.
exactly. Yep.
So now technically they'd be able to build an ADU, but then you have the other hurdle that they got to jump through is panhandle
Panhandle
health.
health, whether they can get a septic in and stuff like that. And I do believe they did talk about that with the state provision, is making sure that it doesn't affect regulatory agencies, and they will have final say on stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I'm going to dig into this a little bit more, that bill, because they also said that if like say like Spirit Lake, right,
Yeah.
where they have a problem with sewer hookups,
Yeah.
they're like, well, unless there's no sewer hookups, you can't
Yeah.
just go throw an ADU
Yeah.
up and say, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, if they're at capacity for sewer, they probably won't be able to do that in Spirit
Yeah.
Lake.
Yeah.
So within the city limits.
Yeah.
So
Like we were talking about last time, you still have to pay for that hookup
you do.
for each different house.
Yep.
And so that's still going to be, there's other hurdles you got to jump through. This is good that this one knocks one over
Yeah.
for that size regulation and what have you.
Right.
But you still have other things you got to go,
Yep.
have to come
I
across.
mean, I think we're both on the same page. Less government reach is
Yeah.
always a good thing. And I know some people would say, well, that's government reach. That's the state reaching in and making decisions. Well, sort of, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I agree. And other news, other drama here. We have tomorrow in the Coeur d'Alene City Hall is having another meeting about an event center that is being proposed. The Mitchell Event Center over between Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls, south of Greens Ferry Road. How do you feel about that? Having another event center here?
I have mixed feelings about it, mainly because of zoning.
Yeah.
I do like to, I mean, they're doing a conditional use permit is
Yeah.
what they're filing for, so
Yeah.
it's a CUP. In a residential area.
Yeah.
And that area is south on Greens Ferry Road across from Bella Ridge, just to the east of it. And it is kind of steep over there. So there's a couple things. I mean, they're saying they're limiting it to what, 200
200
people or something. As long as fire trucks and emergency vehicles can get up there, depending on the grade of the road and stuff like that, then it should be fine. 200 people is really not a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, I've had UFC parties where we've had close to 200 people. So seriously.
Yeah. Heard. And when one could argue that all the development we have going out that way, I mean, it's just a matter of time for them to be building this, that, the third. I mean, new Super One's going on over there, or Super One.
Yep.
All the other developments that they have, the housing going on in that area. I mean, I don't think I really have an opinion on another event center, but
I think it'd be nice. I mean, I'm not sure what events they're going to hold, things like
Yeah.
that. I've got a buddy of mine who was looking at doing a wedding venue, and he's up on a hillside, and it's got great views. And
yeah,
county was fine with it. He
Yeah.
checked with all his neighbors; they were okay with it because I mean, the most they were going to have was probably 100 to 150 people
Yeah.
for a wedding venue. So, and it wasn't going to be all the time, but
yeah.
neighbors were good with it. So
Yeah, event centers aren't used all the time anyways,
Yep.
as it is.
they're not. So
But more juicy things that are happening in the state of Idaho, which we're talking about, is this bill was introduced last legislative session, but since it went out, it's no longer there, but they have to introduce it. It was House Bill 904, which was a legislation that was introduced to ban non-U.S. Citizens from buying land here or residential property in the state of Idaho, which even in the bill, it also had an exemption, not exemption, but had a stipulation that if non-U.S. citizens own property here, were forced to sell it within 100 days of this bill passing.
Yep.
What are your thoughts about this bill?
I think they're going in the right direction. I'm not a pro fan of foreign entities owning a bunch of our land in the state of Idaho, because we don't really have a lot to work with. 63% of our land is owned by the state and federal government.
Yeah.
So that leaves, roughly 40% for the rest of us.
Yeah.
So if we have, a Chinese entity or, Russian or whatever come along and buy 20,000, 30, 100,000 acres of land and then just block it all off, it kind of sucks. So they introduced it 2 weeks prior to session ending. Yeah. So they didn't have enough time to really move forward with it. It's going to get revisited for sure. Yeah. Multiple states are doing this, looking at stuff like this. I know Montana is, Wyoming flat just passed it and said, absolutely not. So I think Idaho's along the right tracks. They're just trying to do it in a smart way. Yeah. So I like the direction it's going. I hope to see it come back, and I hope it does pass.
Me too. Other countries as well, they have crazy hurdles for you to be able to buy property in other countries if you are not a citizen of their country, which I think is fair. Yeah. If you have no interest in our country, you should not be able to buy land here,
Right. I agree. You're hitting the nail right on the head, my friend.
From what I know, from what I've heard, is that in Mexico you can't buy any waterfront properties if you're not a citizen of Mexico.
100%.
And so
I tried.
You have a son-in-law that's Mexican, no?
No, he's not.
Oh,
he's a U.S. citizen. No, Julie and I were down there. And we even tried, hooked up with this family down there. It's like, we had everything kind of going in the right direction, and they're like, the only way you could buy it is if we buy it. So you give us the cash, and it's like, and I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a national security thing, especially with Mountain Home Base that you have out in Boise and all our airports as well. Agriculturally as well, they should not be able to buy our farmland to do whatever they want to do with it. And so I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
What are your thoughts? Let me know. Are we being racist? Are we being bigoted? Let me know.
USA.
Another crazy lawsuit that just happened with the National Association of Realtors. They just opted in to a $52.25 million settlement in the buy-side commission lawsuit. And so this article we talked about really didn't go into exactly what they agreed to, but it's just saying that, we were talking about this a little earlier, it's just like as soon as the last lawsuit happened, it's just more and more lawsuits are going to start coming out. Like when is enough
right
for lawsuits for the real estate industry?
Well, you just nailed it. They really didn't go into depth what it was about. So all I could understand from reading it was that the NAR was just trying to get in front of another lawsuit. Yeah. Like, well, when does it end? Yeah. Holy crap, man. I mean, whatever. Yeah. I just think we're going to see so much more of this over the next few years. And then eventually it's all going to explode again, and everything will go back to the way they were. It seems like the pendulum always swings one direction, then gets way out of control, and everybody and their dog's suing everybody, and it's like, wait a second, it worked before the other way. Yeah. Let's just go back to that.
Do you think anything's going to happen with the Board of Realtors? Do you think they're, going to go out of business? Do you think we're not going to have to be part of them?
Like NAR?
Yeah, NAR.
I don't know, Matthew. I mean, it's a tough one to call. Would I be okay with them gone? Yeah, I really would. I don't really see that they do much for us. They're a giant lobbyist group is all I see them for, and they don't always lobby for what I believe in. So, I think that if we just look at everything as a local and state level and leave it at that, not worry about a national thing, let every state handle their business, that's how I like to do it.
Just like a limited government.
Yep.
Just keep it to ourselves and we'll be just fine.
Yes, sir.
We will be just fine. I mean,
Yes, sir.
Who knows what's going to happen with it? I know a lot of people are upset, obviously, about the NAR having a monopoly and forcing people to join just to get access to the MLS and their states, which I think is kind of a bunch of hoopla and shouldn't be a thing.
Right. Let's join the Zillow NAR.
First-time home buyers have fallen to 21%, of the market, the lowest share on record, which is not really surprising with these prices these days. People in the younger generation that don't feel like they have the opportunity to be able to buy a house. And there's an article, I don't know if we talked about this, I saw a couple weeks ago that the average age of a first-time home buyer was up to like 35 before they bought their first house. So, I mean, being able to purchase a home has been slipping out of the younger generations from time and time again. Right.
Oh, it does. You're 100% right. And you nailed it, because the prices of houses just keep going up. And it goes all the way down to the dirt prices. So if you're paying a lot for the dirt, you're going to pay a lot to put the sticks up.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to my earlier quote, 60% of the land in our state's owned by the feds or the state of Idaho. And we have a little panhandle up here. We got a 60-mile stretch of land east to west. And a lot of it is mountainside. Yeah. So as it disappears, price keeps going up and up and up. And I get it. I can see why the age keeps going higher and higher for the first-time home buyer. I get it.
And so do you think, obviously it's all a supply and demand thing, and so with that other bill that was passed to be able to make smaller houses on smaller lots, they'll increase supply, bring down the prices. You think that's a good thing?
If we had more 4-acre parcels sitting around, I think it'd be a great thing. But I pulled a map up of Kootenai County and showed everybody what was going on around here and the 4 cities, basically. We don't have a lot of 4-acre. I've been looking. Since that bill passed, I've been looking since we went over it on our podcast. I've been looking, and it's like there's really not a lot of options. There's like maybe a handful of 4-acre parcels sitting around. Now you might be able to grab one and get it annexed into the city, and with the intent to do a low-income housing or a first-time home buyer type thing, potentially. But your hookups are still the same no matter what. So maybe we could do that for a podcast. Take a 5-acre piece, figure out how many parcels we can get out of it, call the city of Post Falls, figure out what hookups are, and then figure out what a base price of house. I still think you're going to be at that probably the national average price for a house on a dinky lot. Yeah. Which will be allowed to then put an ADU on.
On top of the house.
Exactly. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if a developer does it.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the ARC not too long ago. Again, there was right under $400, $398 or something, and they're already doing it before the bill even passed. So I mean, you were even saying that you bring a proposal to the city of Post Falls or Coeur and say, hey, low price houses. I mean, affordable housing.
Affordable housing.
Yeah, they're gonna be all over it like hotcakes, right?
They will. They will, absolutely, especially if it's if it fits the area and stuff. I mean, like, they're not going to put it right in the middle of like a commercial corridor. Something like that. But yeah, I mean, if it fits for the area, and I can't think of a city that would say no. Yeah. I can't. Yeah. Especially. I mean, here's the bottom line. It's all tax based for the cities.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's like we're growing like crazy, so they could either go with the flow and like allow the development to come through and have more people paying, or you're gonna have people like Timber Ridge out in Athol building $1 million places
on 5 to 10 acres. Yeah, exactly. So, and they're in the county, so there's less taxes and all that. So yeah, the cities would definitely say yes to something like that.
Yeah. So even without the bill that was passed, I mean, people were still doing it, and it was still being effective.
100%.
At the end of the day. Yep. Oh man, any final thoughts, Stan? How do you think we're shaking out for this spring?
I thought the inventory was going to be loosening up. Yeah. You look at the hot sheet every day. Yeah. There's not a lot of inventory grabbing or going up. I did go through a subdivision last week out in Foxtail
Yeah.
off of 41 and Pole Line, and they've got, I was on Aquila, and they've got, looked like, near as I can tell, at least 10
Yeah.
houses going up,
Yeah.
and a couple of them had sold signs on them, the rest were available.
Yeah.
So I know that the builders are putting stuff up,
Yeah.
and we don't always see the available builder inventory. So if you are a first-time home buyer, or a second time, or third time, a lot of the inventory is not in our MLS.
Yeah.
So you need to get with a realtor, and you know, that's our job, is to
Yeah.
uncover the inventory out there, and we get with builders all the time,
Yeah.
and I'm on the Arcatera list, so just to see what's out there.
Especially on the new construction side, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Like you're saying, they don't advertise it as available. Well, they advertise it when they need to, not when they don't need to. If we got people rolling in hand over fist, buying in their inventory, it's rarely ever going to hit the market as available. It's already going
Right.
to be sold by that point.
Yep.
And so, like you said, it's our job to know what new construction's out there that's available for people to come by.
yeah, I've been stopping into Greenstone, I've been stopping into the different builders around our area
Yeah.
and their model homes, and finding out what
Yeah.
inventory's out there, what do they have on the horizon,
Yeah.
90 days out from
Yeah.
completion, stuff like that. So, because it's always good to know that.
Yeah. Agreed. I've been seeing, like you said, checking the hot sheets every day, and I'm seeing a lot well-priced houses going in the first week. I don't
Me
know
too.
if you've noticed that.
Yeah,
It'd be come up
Yes.
on Thursday or Friday. It'd be pending by Monday.
I'm seeing some get listed as pending.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're selling it within office.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, you know, you want the most and best information, get with a realtor that's in the know, like Matthew, who's out there pounding the pavement every day, so.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you again for being on another episode.
My pleasure.
We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.